Okay, so my name is Hasnen Tai, and I work as a software engineer at Toshiba. That's my Twitter handler, and we can go ahead and you can go ahead and contact over me there if you have any issues. So let's go ahead and check it out. What I have to say about material buttons, okay, and let's see what agenda we have today. So first thing first, we have material buttons and their themes to discuss about. It's going to be a quite long topic, and we are going to see what exactly is there in the material buttons and what are the themes and what are the breaking changes or the soft breaking changes we can say. Then we have something called scaffold messenger, and we have asynchronous snack bars. So being a beginner in the Flutter, you need to know this, right? So when we have any deprecated widget, right, we always get a warnings from our editors or from our Android Studio or Visual Studio saying that your widget is deprecated, and it gives a suggestion that okay, we should not use this. Instead of that, we should use this. But we should really ask question: why is that happening, or why the widget is deprecated? What is the reason behind that? So there's a common reason is that we might be, or the Flutter team might be upgrading the previous problems, or with the time it goes, it understands what is the new requirements, and then the widget is upgraded. But let us see what happens with the material buttons, and why we have old widgets with their new names and with their new themes as a as a solution. Why they overcome with this solution, or why they overcome the previous problem with this solution by just keeping a new buttons new button widget name and the new theme name for all the different widgets. So as you can see on the screen, we have a flat button named as a text button in the new widget, right? Raise button is being now called as elevated button, and the outline button is known as outlined button, right? And before they were sharing the common themes, but now they have a different theme classes for their particular widget. Now, why this is happening, or what was the problem, why they just came up to this solution, that why we need to replace or redesign the widget and the theme. Let's just go ahead and check it out in the next slide. So let us try to understand the problem, right? If you want to know more what exactly happening, or there is a huge discussion going on this issue number that is 19623 on the Flutter GitHub repo, you can just go ahead and take a look. There's a huge discussion on that, and let us just go ahead and jump into the understanding the problem and how they overcame this problem, right? So now problem was okay. Before we understand this slide, right, I just wanted to know or make you understand that there was a problem with the theme which they were using commonly for all the different buttons, right? So now you can see over here in this application there is a date picker, right? And they have been customized with the different colors, and we are trying over here, we are trying to give our own theme to the widget, but somewhere our theme is getting failed. And you can see over here where I have just where the image is showing that the buttons are trying to take the primary color, or the theme which is being used from the button, right? Or from the theme button, I mean the button text theme, right? But over here there is an issue. We are not able to override our custom theme with this piece of code, right? And of course there was a way to override this, but if you are a beginner, or that there was no clear specification in the API documentation how you can override this, or there was a hacky way to do this. But there was an issue where the widgets which are using which is known as button bar, right? Which were using button bars were overriding the theme, which was as a default theme. So they were not using the button theme, right? So that was the issue. So in this particular screenshot, we can see that our button, which is inside our Cupertino, I mean the not the Cupertino, but this is the material date picker, which was not overridden, right? So this was the issue. But why was that issue coming up, right? So we have a hurdle, big hurdle over here, is that the button bar, right? So this button bar was used or incorporated with the alert dialog or date picker. So whatever buttons you put in into the date picker or alert dialog, right, they were wrapped with the button bar, and button bar always overrides the button text theme dot primary, not the text theme. So there was an issue, and that it was been overridden always, and there was not a specific way to overcome this issue. So now uh, there is something that there was so more many more issues, but this is one of them. And the objective behind this change was to just make it easy to configure the visual properties of standard material buttons widget, so that we can have overall application theme and component specific themes working all fine, right? So the simple task like configuration of the text color for all the text buttons should be simple, right? There should not be a hacky way to do that. So the objective was that to make it pretty simple, so that everyone can understand and just use it into their application, right? So as we know, there was a hurdle called button bar, which was overriding the theme. Okay, and there was another root cause of this problem was a grab bag, right? So there was a system in the Flutter while designing the whole material states or whatever. So there was a grab bag property, right? Which shares the which was getting shared by everywhere for like disable color or button hover color and stuff like that, right? So this was sharing everywhere, and this was creating a problem while developing the apps. So there was an issue with the theme, right? So when you change the theme from dark to light, there was an issue, or you need to override, or somewhere it was not getting overridden. So what they decided is to come up with a solution where we will redesign the new widgets with a different name, and everyone will have a different theme for different buttons, right? So in the first or the last theme, we saw that we have a different themes for different buttons, right? So elevated button have a theme called elevated button theme. Outline button has a class called outline button theme, which incorporates and respectively to their application, or they overrides the whatever code goes on. So finally, what they did was to overcome such issue, the new widgets were designed, right? Now, as I said, the objective was to make it easy to configure for visual properties, so that user can easily, manage the themes and have their application looks pretty good, or they can have however they want, right? Now, there was one more important thing when the material buttons was designed, when Flutter was launched in back 2018. There was a different naming convention for a material design spec as well. So now there was one more reason why they renamed this button was the material design specs were given a new name, as we saw in the second slides, that they have been renamed to flat button to the text button and so on. So that was also one more reason where they want to sync their Flutter widgets to be same as the material design spec, right? So that helps a developer to understand how exactly the design system goes on for material, right? Now, let me just go ahead and show you something. what was there, what was going on with the buttons, and how they design something good over here. So I'm just going to pull up my window, another window over here, and I hope it is visible. So you can see we have a text button over here. Previously it was a flat button, now we call it as a text button, right? And then we have something called text button dot icon, right? So that we can pass in the icon directly. So you might be able to see over here we are passing the icon directly, and then the label to our text button dot icon, right? So this is how they have designed the new theme over here, and this is how we can incorporate all the new theme. Now let's go ahead and check it out. What other things we have with this material buttons, right? So if I just go ahead and take a look, I have a uh, different colors which is being handled by the single button. So you can see if I just click, the colors are being changed nicely, and the theme is getting maintained properly, right? So this was there was a problem before this new material buttons comes in, and they were not managed well, or whatever the problem we just talked previously in the slides now has been handled so nicely, so that the application looks pretty good and have a complete nice theming. Now if we just go ahead and take a look on the other textile buttons, you can see over here I can just go ahead and resize them, and everything works totally fine, right? Now over here there is an individual style as well, as we just saw that they have a different theme classes for different buttons. So they have a different individual design. Before it was just sharing a common design or a theme, right? So we have a different button shape renamed with different property, and you can see they have been well managed. Now, in the alert box also, we have a hover effect available in the theme. So the problem was right over here, right? So when the alert was over here, it uses the button bar, and it was used to override with the button text, not the text theme, right? So that was the issue over here, and we can see with the different theming, we have a different colors available over here, and so now it works perfectly fine. So we have a different shape for different buttons as well. So you can see we have no border over here, or a different color border on the other button, and we have a nice really upright button with a different border. So it's pretty good to handle all the different cases for the buttons using the new universe of the material button, we can say. And so that this was incorporated or was launched in 1.22 of Flutter version, but the perspective of this talk was to make all the Flutter developer understand that what's happening on the team as well. So there is a nice document given by a detailed document given by the Hans over here. It just provides all the information, what objective they had, what was the problem they were facing, and what exactly the properties were getting overridden. And it has a nice explain, a doc, which I can share it in the chat section maybe later on after this talk. And yeah, you guys can go ahead and check it out, what's happening with this document and how they come up with this solution, and what was the discussion happened between them. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. What are the other widgets we have to work with? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look on what's happening over here. And maybe I lost the alignment over here, or maybe I don't know. So just forgive me for that. Okay. So now, being a beginner, you always confused what is context and how it works, what is the widget tree and what's happening with the widget tree. So to understand that, we have something called a snack bar, right? So previously, the problem was the snack bar is always associated with the scaffold. So if you pop out your scaffold from the widget tree, right, the snack bars goes off and it will be never shared between the two screens, right? But now with the help of Scaffold Messenger, we can share the scaffold easily, and we have a good hero animation going on the screen where you can just see the snack bar say that I can fly. And once we click on the get snack bar and we navigate to the another page, the snack bar stays right over there, right? So this was the great, I can say, to overcome that issue, which was which is given by the Flutter framework itself. So I guess, yeah, you should be using Scaffold Messenger to, make your application looks good or more mature while you notify your user has something has happened with your application or application state, right? So yeah, we have a Scaffold Messenger over here. Now, the next one, what we have is asynchronous snack bar, right? So the asynchronous snack bar is a snack bar where you will you have some network calls in your application, right? And you want to notify your user after your network calls get satisfied, or when you get 200 response, or maybe whatever, it might be an error or a success, whatever. So there was a hacky way, we would say, that to do this stuff. But right now what we have is we call the snack bar from another scaffold, right? We go to the another page, that is gallery page, we wait over there, and the asynchronous snack bars pop in over there. So maybe the use case would be, when you logged in the user, and on the landing page you want to notify that login was successful, or you want to give some welcome message that welcome user and stuff, we can easily use the asynchronous snack bar, right? So this was the important, or I can say this is the good a new widget, we can say, the improved widget from the Flutter team. And yeah, this looks pretty amazing, and I'm going to use it in all of my applications, because the I just love the snack bars, how they pop up and give the message to the users, and it just improves and look our application more mature with the design and stuff, right? So yeah, this was the asynchronous snack bar from my end, and that's all from my side. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you were able to understand what was the problem with the material buttons, and why they came with the new solution, right? So yeah, that's all from my end. If we have any questions, we can go ahead and yeah, over to you, host.